Good evening, you're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. More than 40 fighters of Fatah al-Sham front are killed in airstrikes in northern Syria. Donald Trump is swearing in as the 45th President of the United States today. And more than 60% of the 7th phase of Sohar Industrial Estate expansion is completed. Those were the headlines, and now for the news in detail. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said more than 40 fighters of former Al-Qaeda affiliate Fatah al-Sham Front were killed in airstrikes on their camp in northern Syria. The observatory said it could not immediately specify who carried out the strikes in the western part of Aleppo province. Meanwhile, Syria's state-run news agency Sana said the Daesh group has destroyed parts of the Roman amphitheater in Syria's historic town of Palmyra. On the other hand, Turkey's military said it targeted over 200 alleged Daesh group positions in Syria and that 23 militants were killed. The military said in a written statement that shelters, defensive positions and command centers were hit. Arab-led airstrikes on Yemen's Red Sea coast have killed at least 30 rebels over the past 24 hours. Military sources said today that these strikes hit 2 military camps, an ammunition depot and an arms transporter in Hodeidah province. Around 20 fighters and renegade troops were also wounded. Pro-government forces launched a major offensive earlier this month aimed at ousting the rebels from the Dhubab district at the southern end of the 450-kilometer-long coastline. Donald Trump is swearing in as the 45th President of the United States today, capping his improbable journey to the White House and beginning a 4-year term that promises to shake up Washington and the world. An estimated 800,000 people are gathering on the National Mall in the center of the nation's capital to celebrate a man whose short 19-month political career has defied all predictions and many norms. Trump will place his hand on Abraham Lincoln's Bible, recite the oath of office on the steps of the Capitol, and become the most powerful man on earth.
I sort of stole her husband. He is so great.
Fighting continued in Mosul today as Iraqi troops intensified their push into the last neighborhoods held by Daesh group in the city. Earlier, US-backed Iraqi government troops announced they were in full control of eastern Mosul. Stiff resistance by the militants, thousands of civilians being trapped in their houses by the fighting, and bad weather have slowed the advances of the troops. Rescue teams worked through to try and reach trapped victims and firefighters after a commercial building collapsed in Iran's capital and killed at least 30 firefighters. Scores of workers and dozens of trucks were searching the ruins for victims today, a day after a historic high-rise building in the heart of Tehran caught fire and later collapsed. The building was home to more than 500 garment and clothing workshops, their offices and warehouses, and was full of chemical materials. Workers were digging several tunnels from buildings next door to reach the basement of the collapsed building. Teams of rescue dogs were at the site too. Authorities described the building as having a weak structure, and it was built more than 5 decades ago. The fire was the worst in Tehran since a 2005 blaze at a historic mosque killed 59 worshippers and injured nearly 200 others. Still to come in our news bulletin. The Sultanate's atmosphere continues to be affected by a trough of low-pressure system on a number of wilayas. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. While almost tens of thousands of people are expected to turn out for the inauguration of US President-elect Donald Trump, not many Washington residents are excited about the billionaire Republican taking office. Here's a report.
On the eve of the inauguration, the atmosphere in Washington, D.C., where President-elect Donald Trump received just 4% of the popular vote, is not especially festive. Paul, for one, has decided to stay home.
I don't want to see all the crazies that are coming to support Trump. I don't even think I'll watch it on TV. First time ever.
I can't say that I'll be celebrating the particular president who's coming in.
I voted for Hillary Clinton, and I think that this inauguration is really challenging for me. It's very difficult to watch someone come into the White House who I feel like does not have a lot of respect for me as an individual, as a woman, my reproductive rights.
But while very few Washington residents voted for Trump, thousands of his supporters are coming from out of town to watch his inauguration. Just around the corner from the White House, there's at least one person who's excited for the event.
We'll probably have 20,000 that will come through just in 2 days. So we quadruple what we normally would do.
So how are you going to survive?
Survive by counting the money. That's how. How else?
But like many here, he didn't see Trump's victory coming.
We did designs in the fall for both Hillary and for President-elect Trump. And I thought Hillary was going to win. And I bought over $100,000 worth of Hillary inaugural items. And we didn't have any Trump items.
He's certainly made up for it since then, offering a large variety of Trump souvenirs, like this talking pen that's sure to amuse pro- and anti-Trump shoppers alike.
It's my hair.
The average price of Oman oil March 2017 delivery reached $52 and 90 cents per barrel. Dubai Mercantile Exchange today said that the price of Oman oil declined 20 cents from the price of yesterday. The average price of Oman oil February 2017 delivery has stabilized at $52.72, thus $8.18 per barrel compared to January 2017 delivery. Work continues for the expansion of the 7th phase of Sohar Industrial Estate. More than 60% of the project has been accomplished till now. The completion is expected to be by the end of this year. The project costs more than 19 million Omani Riyals. The 7th phase project includes all necessary services and facilities such as telecommunications, roads, electricity and water. It can accommodate more than 100 projects in all fields, to be added to 280 existing projects in the various phases. According to the strategic plan of Sohar Industrial Estate till 2020, it is expected that the estate will attract 300 projects worth 1 billion Omani Riyals and create 10,000 job opportunities for citizens. Varied intensity rainfall continues in a number of wilayas of the Sultanate as a result of a trough of low pressure system. In the Governorate of Dakhiliya, light to moderate rains fell centered on highlands and mountainous areas, leading to a decrease in temperatures. The Wilaya of Dibba in the Governorate of Musandam and the Wilaya of Sohar in the Governorate of North Batna witnessed light rains. Also, a number of wilayas of the Governorate of South Sharqiya witnessed light to moderate rains. And now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Partly cloudy skies will prevail over the Governorate of Musandam and the coastal areas overlooking Sea of Oman with chances of scattered rainfall. Rest of the Sultanate will have clear skies with chances of cloud accumulation on Hajar Mountains in the evening and low clouds of fog over the Governorates of North Sharqiya, South Sharqiya and Worcester early morning. Winds will be north to northeasterly light to moderate, occasionally active over the coastal areas. Seas will be moderate to rough with a maximum wave height of 3 meters. the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. More than 40 fighters of Fatah al-Sham front are killed in airstrikes in northern Syria. Donald Trump is swearing in as the 45th President of the United States today. And more than 60% of the 7th phase of Sohar Industrial Estate expansion is completed. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.